The tattoo on his neck was the same. The scar above his left eyebrow was the same. The voice was the same. And when I finally worked up the courage to tell him what happened to me 15 years ago, the man who became my protector did something I never expected. He ended his own freedom to give me mine back. My name is Emma Torres, and this is a story of how a biker saved my life twice. First without knowing it, and then by sacrificing everything. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and follow this story to the end. Comment the city you're watching from so I can see how far this story has traveled. 15 years ago, I was 17 years old. Honor student. Full scholarship to college. My whole life ahead of me. Then one night, in April 2008, everything changed. I was walking home from my library job when a man pulled up in a truck. He offered me a ride. When I refused, he didn't take no for an answer. I won't give you the details. You can imagine the worst things you're thinking. It was worse than that. When it was over, he left me on the side of Highway 9, bleeding and broken, with a threat that haunts me to this day. Tell anyone, and I'll come back for your family. I know where you live. I know your little sister's name. He did know. He'd planned everything. A trucker found me hours later. The hospital did a rape kit. Police came with questions. Did you see his face? I had every detail. The snake tattoo on his neck. The scar above his eyebrow. The cold calculation in his eyes. But I thought about my 12-year-old sister, Isabella, sleeping safely at home. And I lied. It was too dark. I didn't see him. The investigating officer, Detective Sarah Chun, looked at me like she knew I was lying. But she didn't push. If you ever remember anything, she said gently, call me. We'll protect you. I never called. Instead, I let the fear consume me. My scholarship fell through when my grades collapsed. I dropped out of school. Started having panic attacks. So severe, I couldn't leave my apartment for days. My parents thought I was depressed. My friends thought I'd changed. Nobody knew the truth. Nobody except the monster who destroyed me. For 15 years, I lived in that prison. Jumped at every sound. Couldn't be alone with men. Couldn't sleep without nightmares. Couldn't trust anyone. I moved away from my hometown. Changed my phone number. Built walls so high nobody could get close. Until I met Gabriel Hawk Morrison. I met Hawk at a community center in Portland where I'd started volunteering. It was part of my therapy. My counselor said helping others might help me heal. The center ran a program teaching motorcycle maintenance to at-risk youth. Hawk was one of the volunteer instructors. He was enormous. 6'4", 250 pounds of muscle and tattoos, with a beard down his chest and a leather vest that said Road Kings MC Sergeant at Arms. Everything about him should have terrified me. But something about the way he interacted with the kids, patient, kind, never raising his voice even when they made mistakes, made me pause. That's Hawk, another volunteer told me. Used to be military. Did 3 tours in Afghanistan. Now he runs a youth program for his club. He's one of the good ones. Over the following months, I watched him, always from a distance, always ready to run if he got too close. But Hawk never pushed, never invaded my space. If we were in a room together and he needed to walk past me, he'd announce himself, "Coming up on your left, Emma." If he needed to hand me something, he'd set it down rather than hand it directly. He noticed my fear, and instead of asking why, he just gave me space. Slowly, over 18 months, I started to relax around him, started to trust. We began having coffee after volunteer sessions, just talking. He told me about his time in the service, about losing friends, about coming home with PTSD, and finding brotherhood in the Road Kings. The club saved my life, he said. Gave me purpose when I had none. Family when I needed it most. I told him I volunteered because I was trying to find purpose too. I didn't tell him why. Not yet. 2 years after we met, Hawk asked me to dinner. A real date. My therapist had been encouraging me to try dating. You can't let what happened control your whole life, she'd said. You deserve happiness. I said yes. That first dinner turned into a second, then a third. Within 6 months, we were dating seriously. Hawk was patient with my boundaries. Never pushed for physical intimacy. Let me set the pace for everything. When I had panic attacks, he'd sit quietly nearby until I could breathe again. "I'm here," he'd say. "You're safe. Take your time." He never asked what caused the attacks, just accepted them as part of who I was. 3 years after our first date, Hawk asked me to marry him. I wanted to say yes. God, I wanted to. But I couldn't marry him with this secret between us. He deserved to know who he was marrying. Deserved to know why I woke up screaming. Why I couldn't be touched certain ways. Why I'd probably never be able to give him children, because the thought of pregnancy triggered me so badly. So one night, sitting in his apartment, I told him everything. I told him about the attack, about the threats, about the 15 years of silence and fear. Hawk listened without interrupting. His jaw got tighter and tighter, but he didn't speak. When I finished, he was quiet for a long time. Then he said, "Did you ever report it? Is there a case file?" "There's a rape kit." But I told him I couldn't identify him. "Could you identify him now?" I nodded. I see his face every night in my nightmares. Hawk took my hands. "Emma, I need you to listen to me carefully. What happened to you is not your fault. The fear you felt, that was survival. You protected your family, the only way you knew how." He paused. "But he's still out there. He might have hurt other women. He might hurt more." I thought about that. God, I thought about that for 15 years. "I'm so sorry," I whispered. "If you want to leave, if this is too much." "Leave." Hawk pulled me close. "Emma, I love you. What happened to you doesn't change that. But I need you to trust me now. Will you let me help you?" "How?" "Let me talk to my brothers in the club. We have resources, connections, ways to find people who don't want to be found." "Hawk, I can't ask you to." "You're not asking. I'm offering." His voice was steel. "Nobody gets away with hurting my family. And you're my family now." 2 weeks later, Hawk called a meeting with the Road Kings leadership. I sat in their clubhouse, a place I never thought I'd be, and told my story to 12 bikers who looked like they ate nails for breakfast. When I finished, the club president, a man called Ironside, spoke. "Brothers, this is exactly why we exist. To protect those who can't protect themselves. Emma is Hawk's family, which makes her our family. We find this piece of shit, we bring him to justice. The legal kind," he added firmly. "We're not vigilantes. We do this right." Over the next 3 months, the Road Kings became my investigative team. They had a member who was a retired police detective, another who worked in forensics, a third who had connections with victim advocacy groups across multiple states. They pulled the original case file, found the rape kit, still preserved after all these years, convinced Detective Chun, now lieutenant, to reopen the case. "The victim is ready to identify her attacker," Hawk told her. Chun looked at me. "Emma, after 15 years, you're ready?" I nodded. "I'm ready." "Then let's find him." With the Road King's help, we built a profile. The truck he'd driven. The tattoos I remembered. The fact that he'd known my name suggested he'd been watching me. A forensic artist worked with me to create a composite sketch. When I saw it on paper, I had to run to the bathroom to throw up, but it was accurate. The Road Kings distributed the sketch through their network, dozens of motorcycle clubs across the western states. "We're looking for this man. Assault from 2008. Victim finally ready to come forward." Within 2 weeks, we had a name. Marcus Reaper Lawson, member of the Iron Skulls MC, a club known for criminal activity, drugs, weapons trafficking, extortion. The Road Kings had no association with them. "They give all of us a bad name," Ironside said with disgust. Detective Chin brought me a photo lineup, and there he was, number 4, older now, but unmistakable. "That's him," I said, my voice shaking. "That's the man who raped me." Chin nodded grimly. "We'll bring him in." But before the police could move, something unexpected happened. Hawk got a phone call. "It's Reaper," the voice said. "Marcus Lawson. I heard you've been looking for me." Hawk's entire body went rigid. "You got some nerve calling me." I know what you think I did, and I'm calling to tell you you're right. Silence. What? 15 years ago, I did something unforgivable. I was young, stupid, high on meth half the time, and I hurt someone who didn't deserve it. I've known who she was for years. Been watching from a distance to make sure she was okay. Hawk's voice was deadly quiet. You've been watching her? Not like that. Just making sure she was safe. After I got clean 7 years ago, after I realized what I'd done, I try to find ways to make it right. But there's no making it right, is there? No, Hawk said. There's not. When I heard her name to the biker network, Emma Torres, connected to Road Kings, I knew she'd finally found the courage to speak up. And I realized I had a choice. Run or face what I did. So you're calling to what? Apologize? No. Apologies are worthless for what I did. Reaper's voice cracked. I'm calling to tell you I'm turning myself in. I've already contacted Detective Sarah Chun. I'm meeting her tomorrow morning to confess everything. Hawk couldn't speak. But first, I need to talk to Emma. Face to face. I need her to know I'm not that person anymore. And I need to hear from her own mouth what she wants from me. Absolutely not, Hawk growled. I'll do it in a police station. With you there. With lawyers. Whatever makes her feel safe. But she deserves to look me in the eye and tell me what I took from her. Hawk looked at me. I'd been listening to the whole conversation on speaker. My therapist's words echoed in my mind. Confronting your attacker isn't for everyone, but for some survivors, it's the key to reclaiming their power. I'll do it, I said. Emma, I'll do it. I need to. 3 days later, I sat in an interview room at Portland Police Department. Detective Chin was there. My lawyer was there. Hawk was there, positioned between me and the door, ready to end Marcus Lawson if he so much as breathed wrong. And then they brought him in. He was in handcuffs. He'd already confessed, already waived his right to a lawyer because, as he told them, I don't deserve defense for what I did. He sat down across from me, and I looked into the eyes of my monster. He looked different, older, obviously, but something else had changed. The cruelty I remember was gone. In its place was something that looked like genuine remorse. Emma, he said quietly, I don't expect forgiveness. I don't deserve it. But I need you to know that what I did to you destroyed me almost as much as it destroyed you. I found my voice. Almost. He flinched. You're right. Nothing I experienced comes close to what I put you through. Then why did you do it? I was high, angry at the world. And you represented everything I could never have. Good family, bright future, hope. I wanted to destroy that because I'd never had it myself. He paused. Those are explanations, not excuses. There is no excuse. I stared at him. You threatened my family. Do you know what that did to me? I've been in prison for 15 years because of you. Never felt safe. Never could trust anyone. Lost my scholarship, my dreams, everything. I know. I've followed your life. I know what I took from you. You followed me? My voice rose. You stalked me for 15 years? Not stalked. Just made sure you were okay. Made sure no one else hurt you. It was the only way I could live with myself. Hawk stood up. You piece of... Hawk. Detective Chin put a hand on his arm. I took a shaky breath. What do you want from me? Marcus met my eyes. Nothing. I want nothing from you. I'm going to prison. I'm going to plead guilty. I'm going to accept whatever sentence they give me. And I'm going to spend the rest of my life knowing that I destroyed an innocent person's future. He paused. But I wanted you to see that I'm not that person anymore. I got clean, left the iron skulls. Spent 7 years working with addiction recovery programs, trying to save other people from becoming what I was. Good for you, I said bitterly. You want a medal? No. I want you to know that you don't have to be afraid anymore. I'm going away. And the person who hurt you, that version of me, he's dead. He died the day I got sober and realized what I'd done. I stood up. Hawk immediately moved closer, protective. I walked around the table until I was standing right in front of Marcus Lawson. You took 15 years from me, I said. You stole my innocence, my trust, my dreams. You made me afraid of my own shadow. I know, but I'm taking my power back now, and you're going to help me do it." He looked confused. "You're going to confess to everything, every detail. You're going to testify about the Iron Skull's other crimes, if it helps put more rapists away. You're going to spend your prison time running recovery programs and teaching other men not to become what you were." I leaned forward. "And you're going to do it knowing that I'm out here living the life you tried to take from me. I'm going to marry Hawk. I'm going back to school. I'm going to become the doctor I always wanted to be. I'm going to help other survivors. And you're going to spend every day in prison knowing that you didn't break me. I survived you." Tears were streaming down his face. "Yes, ma'am. And one more thing. Anything. Thank you." He blinked. "What?" "Thank you for turning yourself in. Thank you for giving me the chance to face you without fear. It doesn't make what you did okay. It doesn't earn you forgiveness. But it gives me something I needed: closure." I turned to Detective Chun. "I'm ready to give my official statement now." Marcus Lawson was sentenced to 25 years in prison. He pleaded guilty to rape, kidnapping, assault, and making terroristic threats. At his sentencing, he addressed the court. "Your Honor, I don't ask for leniency. I don't ask for mercy. I ask only that my case be used as an example, that other men see what happens when you destroy an innocent life, that survivors see that speaking up can lead to justice, even years later." He looked at me in the gallery, and I asked that Emma Torres be allowed to live her life in peace, knowing the monster who hurt her is locked away forever. The judge gave him the maximum sentence on every count, to be served consecutively. "Mr. Lawson," she said, "you claim to be reformed. Prison will test that claim. I suggest you use your time wisely." He nodded. "I will, Your Honor. I promise." As they led him away, he looked at me one last time. I didn't look away. I stared him down until he disappeared through the doors. Then I turned to Hawk, who'd been beside me through every moment of this journey. "It's over," I whispered. He pulled me close. "No, sweetheart, it's just beginning." 6 months later, Hawk and I got married. The Road Kings threw us a wedding reception at their clubhouse. Detective Chin came. Even some of the Iron Skull's former members, the ones who left the club after Marcus's arrest revealed its true nature, came to pay respects. "Your courage inspired us to get out," one of them told me. "Made us realize we were becoming monsters, too." I went back to school, started with community college, then transferred to university. Pre-med, just like I'd always planned. It took me longer than it would have if I'd gone straight from high school. But I made it. Today, I'm Dr. Emma Torres Morrison. I specialize in treating trauma survivors. I work with the Road Kings Victim Advocacy Program, and I speak at high schools and colleges about sexual assault awareness. Marcus Lawson kept his promise. He runs recovery programs in prison. He's testified in 3 other assault cases, helping put away men who committed similar crimes. And he sends letters twice a year, not to me, but to the Victim Advocacy Fund I established, with donations from his prison job earnings. I don't read the letters. My assistant logs the donations and sends them to survivors who need financial help with therapy, legal fees, or medical costs. That's the only connection between us now. His money helping undo the damage done by men like he used to be. People ask me if I forgive him. I don't know. Forgiveness is complicated. What I know is this: he can't undo what he did. But by turning himself in, by confessing, by spending his life in prison trying to prevent others from becoming what he was, he gave me something I desperately needed. He ended his freedom to give me back mine. And Hawk, my protector, my partner, my husband, he showed me that not all big, scary-looking bikers are monsters. Some of them are heroes who ride motorcycles instead of white horses. The Road Kings taught me that family isn't always blood. Sometimes it's a group of tattooed bikers who treat victim advocacy like a sacred mission, and I learned that surviving isn't the same as living, but with the right support, survivors can become thrivers. 15 years ago, Marcus Lawson tried to destroy me. He failed. Today, I'm stronger than he ever was. I'm surrounded by people who love me. I'm helping other survivors find their voices. and he's in a cell, spending every day knowing that the girl he tried to break is now a doctor saving lives. That's justice. Not just legal justice, though that matters, but personal justice. The knowledge that he ended his freedom, and in doing so, he set me free. If this story moved you, if you or someone you love has survived assault, please know this. It's never too late to speak up. It's never too late to seek justice. And there are people out there, like Hawk, like the Road Kings, like Detective Chun, who will stand with you. You are not alone. You are not broken. You are a survivor, and you deserve to thrive. Subscribe to this channel for more stories of courage, justice, and healing. Comment, "I am a survivor," if this story touched your heart. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, the bravest thing you can do is tell your truth. Because sometimes, telling your truth can end a monster's freedom and begin your own. You are seen. You are heard. You matter.